Confidence isn't walking into a room thinking that you're better than anyone. It's walking in knowing that you don't have to compare yourself to anyone. Comparing yourself to another person, that isn't even in your system. There's no thought of comparison. There is no competition with any other human. You are not above anyone. You are not below anyone. That's confidence. When you can get to the place in your life where comparison is dead, where you are good enough, not to others, but to yourself, that is confidence. And you can be good enough right now because you are good enough right now. You might just need to change your mindset. Confidence can be developed in many ways. You can start with your physiology, your posture. If I asked you what a confident person looked like, would you be able to tell me? Of course you would. They look strong, sure of themselves. How are they standing? They're standing tall. How are their shoulders? They are back, upright. They make eye contact. Their head is up, not down. Now, a shy or introverted person might say, yeah, well, that's all good for outgoing people, but I will never be confident. Anyone can develop confidence. Some might have to work on it harder than others because they've conditioned themselves into a lack of confidence for much of their life. But anyone can develop confidence. Even the majority of shy people have moments where they aren't shy, like around people they trust, maybe family, friends, or their partner. Moments where they can be themselves fully. So the shyness is selective, which means you can make confidence permanent if you consciously decide to be the person and do the things you do. Not just around those you trust the most, but all the time.
Let's go, let's go. Good morning, familia. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. Super excited for today's topic, how to go ahead and be more confident. We're getting closer to the second half of 2022. So now is the time to go ahead and really be intentional and get excited because I believe the second half of the year is going to be very exciting for the rest of you all as well. So let's go ahead and get into it today. But as we dive into it, I want to go in depth with today's gratitude, right? I told you I want to bring you along the gratitude journey. So let's go ahead and drop. What are you grateful for today? Grateful for God, grateful to be alive, grateful to be healthy, grateful for all of the lessons that's coming to and through each and every one of our lives because we understand life is happening for us and not to us. So here we go. I want to go over today's gratitude. All right. So today we are on, where are we at? We're on day 7. Okay, so this was called the magical way out of negativity. So I'm telling you, I've seen this book change so many lives, and I've waited so long to actually get in it myself. So I want to bring everybody along this journey as well. So today was called the magical way out of negativity. Okay, the first paragraph reads, rather, it's a relationship in turmoil, finances, or a lack of health or problems in a job. Negative situations arise because of a lack of gratitude over a long period of time. If we're not grateful for each thing in our lives, we are unintentionally taking those things for granted. Taking things for granted is a major cause of negativity because when we take things for granted, we are not giving thanks in return and we stop the magic happening in our life. So are you grateful to be alive each day, or do you take your life for granted? Taking things for granted results in complaining, negative thoughts, and words. So when you complain, by the law of attraction, you must bring more of those negative things that you complain about into your life. So how many of us can relate, right? Every thought that we put out emits a frequency. So if we're thinking about negativity, if we're talking about it and we wonder why we keep bringing more about it in our life, this is why they say misery loves company. So today's lesson, check this out. This was powerful. This is from Buddha. You ready? It says, let us rise up and be thankful. For if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. If we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us be thankful, right? Amazing. So today's lesson, to go ahead and go through, you ready? Just for today, see if you can go through one day without saying anything negative. It might be a challenge, but see if you can make it through one day. There's an important reason to do this because most of us have no idea how much we speak negatively, but you have an idea after watching your words for today. So go ahead and try that out for today, right? That's today's lesson for the secret of gratitude. Now, let's go ahead and get into confidence, okay? How to go ahead and gain more confidence, how you can go ahead and get a little bit more of self-belief into yourself. Here's the exercise. Let's go ahead and start off with an exercise, okay? Some of us leaders, we got this morning. So let's go ahead and try this one out. I want you to close your eyes, okay? And I want you to go ahead and picture yourself in a blank room, right? Just 4 white walls. It's just you, yourself, and you're sitting there and you turn around and all of a sudden you see an exact version of you. But the only difference is the exact version, your twin that you see has a little bit more confidence than you have right now. They're confident in their body. They're confident in their mindset. They're confident in the actions that they take. They're confident in who they're going to become in the future. So let me ask you right now, what does that person look like to you? What do they look like? Does their body look a little bit different? Does their posture look a little bit more upright? Do they have more energy when they walk, when they speak? So I want you to go ahead and envision that person right now. Do they look a little bit more clean? Have they taken care of themselves a little bit more? If the answer is yes, I want you to look at that person and I want you to think about becoming them today. What if you took a little bit more self-care with yourself? What if you were weary about what it is that you ate today? What if you say, you know what, I need to go hit the gym because I need to go ahead and look like that person today? Think about what it is what attributes do they have that you can go ahead and embody right now, and go ahead and step into that person. Now, let's go ahead and jump back into the visualization, right? This was powerful because this is gonna really get you to think. So let's go ahead and jump back in it, okay? You've now stepped into that higher version of yourself. You're in that body. You're the only person in the room. It's just you, 4 white walls, and you turn around, and you're face to face with the next highest version of you that has a little bit more self-confidence, right? That exudes that positive energy, that just has that aura. When they walk in the room, others can feel it, okay? That there's levels that you can actually go to, but it takes you being able to really visualize it and picture it before it happens. 11:11, perfect timing. Paint your vision. Start painting the individual that you want to become. You know, I actually wrote it in my journal actually yesterday, and the title of it was "You Are Your Own Superhero." So I'll go ahead and show you guys so you can see it. But this is powerful because I truly believe when you can start to envision what your superhero looks like, you're going to step in and you're going to embody it. What does that look like? Right? It's the exact title of my page. You are the superhero. So what does your superhero look like? What do they speak like? What do they dress like? What do they show up like on a daily basis? What do their actions look like? Okay, I want to give you guys a quote to think about that piggybacks directly on top of that hit me like a brick this morning. And it said, most people, right, the difference between fearless and being fearless, okay, the ones that you see that are taking action, that are on TV, that we're looking at all the time, they're not fearless, they just fear less. Ooh, let that one sink in. They're not fearless, they just fear less. You don't think it was nerve-wracking for me to go ahead and make a video, to start diving into to learn trading for the first time, to do something that was so outside of my comfort zone that I had never done before, right? Honestly, a lot of parts of this business, I was very fearful about. I was fearful about going out and talking to new people. I was fearful about going out and actually having my family and my friends ridicule me because they said this was never going to be able to work. And then I kept seeing individuals the same age as me, from similar backgrounds, from all different walks of life, end up seeing success. And I realized what separates me and them. We all have different walks of life, different passion, different vision, but same end goal, time, freedom. But what made them stick out? They were just a little bit more fearless. They had a little bit less fear. They understood they can go out and achieve the life that they want. So that was powerful. Okay, so love it. They fearless. Yes, exactly, right? Fearless, and they fearless. They fear making the list because at the end of the day, you never know who you could impact when you actually take the time to make that list. In fact, I've seen so many individuals when they actually made that list and they actually presented it. You have so much money that's sitting in your list, just like your notes. They say all of the notes that we take are uncashed checks. Why? Because to know and to not do is to not know at all. So that was a big lesson. All right, so let's go ahead and get into 4 rules. Okay, 4 rules to think about for today and every day that you wake up so you can go ahead and dive into the best version of you. Ready? So you picture that higher version of yourself today, right? That had a little bit more confidence, that had a little bit more conviction, a little bit more pep in their step. Here's what that version of yourself is thinking. You ready? Number one, first thing that version is thinking: no more 0 days. What do I mean by that? No more hesitation. No more need for days off, right? We've had enough days off in the first 6 months of this year, okay? And if you're comfortable where you're at, if you're satisfied where you're at, then by no means do you need to change what you're doing. But for us on the call that feel a little bit like me, where we've heard it many times, blissfully dissatisfied. And I've come to learn it over the years. If you're not dissatisfied with where you're at, you're not going to be willing to take a different level of action. You're not going to be willing to do things that you've never done before. That's initially what drove me to go make the videos, to go out and invest in courses, to invest in myself. I saw so many individuals leveling up and I was dissatisfied. I thought to myself, if they could do it, why couldn't I do it? So that was it. You got to be pissed off for greatness, right? Just like ET says, that's a real thing. I got sick and tired of living out of my car. I got sick and tired of eating ramen noodles. I got sick and tired of not being able to experience the life that I envisioned all the time. So I realized it was going to take a no days off mentality. And here's the deal, okay? We call it a 90-day sprint. Eric Worre talks about it best. If you guys really want to go ahead and study it, Eric Worre talks about it in GoPro. 90 days can change your life, believe it or not. A 90-day all-out sprint. He says if you go back and look at a lot of his top earners, they could go ahead and attest to a lot of their income, right? Tens of millions of dollars to a 90-day sprint. And here's how you got to think about it. It's like an airplane. An airplane has to go 100% to get off the runway, but as it gets to a certain altitude, it almost burns all of its gas getting off of the runway. It burns a big portion, but once it gets to a certain altitude, now it can coast, let off the gas, and now you can go ahead and keep your persistence, keep your consistency at that level. But it takes a burst to get off the ground to get to that level. So that's going to take this summer really being intentional, really sacrificing, giving up to go up. Sacrificing is different to everybody, just like we heard it on today's call. That could be going out. That could be the parties, the barbecues. I'm not saying don't go do those things, but if you want to reach a certain level that you've never been to, you're probably going to have to do things that you've never done. So this summer is going to have to be different than last summer. So what are you willing to give up to go up? For me, it was a lot of different things. The games, right? People are talking about the playoffs in hockey right now, the Stanley Cup. I couldn't even tell you who's playing because I'm focused on playing my game. I'm focused on winning our Stanley Cup. Okay, so number two has got to be becoming grateful. Okay, becoming grateful for three things. Actually, for three U's directly. Become grateful for the past you, become grateful for the present you, and then you've got to become grateful for the future you. All three of those things is important, is crucial for us all to get to the next level. Why? Because most of the time when we're thinking about the past, we're thinking about the wrong things, the things that we didn't do well, the things that we didn't go ahead and get done. I want you to be grateful for the person that you became through your past. I want you to be grateful for the person that you are in the present right now. And I want you to be grateful for who it is that you are to become in your future. Okay, this is big. This is foundational keys to success. Number three is going to be forgive yourself. Okay, and now I'm going to go back between the past, present, and future. You ready? Forgive yourself for the past, for the mistakes that you made, for how many times you beat yourself up, for how much negativity. A lot of us have heard no tens of thousands of times in our life. I want you to forgive yourself for all of that you heard because it's not true. Number two, I want you to go ahead and equip yourself for the present. What does that mean? You've got to adapt. You've got to become aware of the times that we're living in. We're living in one of the greatest eras that any human being could be alive and take advantage of, right? There's never been an opportunity to be able to make a full-time, part-time income right from our smartphone like there is right now, to be able to achieve time freedom, to be able to have time to give back to your family, to be able to have skill sets to work from home. There's never been a time like right. 10 years ago, it wasn't a thought to be able to trade Forex and crypto on your phone. We had to have tens of millions of dollars. We had to live on Wall Street, and we couldn't participate in these type of markets. Now we have access, okay? So be equipped for the present. NFTs, Metaverse, Web 3.0, Facebook just changed its name to Meta. We are ahead of the trend. This is what you call following the masses and doing the opposite. This is how you really become wealthy in these type of times. And the third part, equipped for your present and excited about your future. You've got to be able to wake up for a vision that you can't see directly in front of your face yet. For I don't care what level that you get to, you've always got to be waking up to something that you can't see physically, right? It could be a different location that you want to live. It could be giving back to your mother. It could be buying them their dream house in a different place. I don't know what that vision is for you. That's why my name is Define Dreams. So you can take the time to define your dreams for yourself. But you've got to really figure out what that is and make your vision exciting for the future. To be able to impact 1 billion lives for me makes me ecstatic. That gets me up every morning. That's something that fires me up. So you've got to figure out what is that for you. Number 4 is you've got to be able to exercise and read books. Okay, running and reading. I'll never forget this. This came from Robin Sharma. He talks about 2 of the biggest lessons that any of us can learn for our confidence is running and reading. Running, why? Because if you go out right after you get off this call and you go run around the block, okay, you're going to notice that we all have 1 or 2 voices. When you go get out and you start feeling the hot sun, your shirt starts getting the wet spots right under your pits and people can see it. You're going to have 1 or 2 voices, okay? The first voice that says, all right, turn around. It's time to go back and jump in the pool. It's too hot. I'm ready for a shake. I'm ready for a smoothie. But then you have the second voice that's going to allow you to say, you know what? We need to get this workout in today. It's time to lose weight. It's time to go ahead and step into the highest version of yourself today. And it starts with taking that first step. It starts with going out, hitting the gym. It starts with going out and doing something that you're not normally used to doing. So running, okay? We all have a choice to listen to the kid voice or the adult voice. And that's not just with running. That's with every aspect of our life. When you get up in the morning, you're either going to listen to the little guy that says hit the snooze button or the one that says get up. This is what we do. It's time to go ahead and make this summer my summer. So everything that you do from today, as you go throughout your day, you're going to have both of those voices hit you. And you can choose which one do you want to listen to. And the second voice is always going to be the one that better serves you. When you get off this car, you're going to go like, what do I want to eat? Junk food, the first voice says. The second voice says, nope, I need some alkaline and I need some whole foods in my life. Okay? How about reading? Why is reading? Why do we listen to audios? Why is PD so important? Well, here's the truth why it's so important for your self-confidence. There's never going to be a problem. There's never going to be anything that any of us are going to experience that hasn't already been written and put into a book, into an audio, right? This is why mentorship is so important. You can come in and learn from your own mistakes, or you can come in and learn from somebody else. That was me with trading. I went on Google. I went on YouTube. I spent thousands of dollars looking to learn how to trade, and I lost a lot of money. I spent a lot of time, and I wasted a lot of energy. This is why mentorship was a key in learning not just the skill sets, gaining self-confidence, learning about social media, learning about how to build a brand. All of these different levels came from truly being a student and knowing that we know nothing. The second that you know everything, you know nothing. You stop being a student, you stop showing up, and you start to lose that self-confidence because you start to realize like, wow, I wonder why things are not going as well as I thought they should be. Because the second that you stop growing, you're dying. That's why when you go out and you look at any living organism that's out here, what happens when they stop growing? If a tree is not growing anymore, what's it doing? It's dying. The same thing goes for us. When we stop reading, when we stop doing personal development, when we stop getting on the gold lives, when we stop getting into the group chats and actually showing our gratitude and showing love in there, you lose the energy, you lose self-confidence, you feel like you've lost your charge. And that's why 90% of success is showing up, is being around the fire, is being around the energy, is truly plugging in to the information, people, and resources that we have access to. So I want to go ahead and leave it off with this is do yourself a favor today. Okay, we talked about the past, present, and future. Let's think about your future version today. What would it look like if you were to do your future self a favor today? Because most of us don't think about this, but with the actions that we're taking is directly correlated to the future self that we're going to end up seeing in the future. So we had to really think about it this morning. What am I going to do today that my future self at the end of the summer, at the end of 2022, December 31st, what am I going to be thanking myself standing as the ball drops? What are you going to be thanking yourself as the ball drops for the actions, the decisions that you made right here before summer? Because this is where it happens. Where we're at right now is nothing but a product of our thinking, our actions from the past. So if our future is what happens today, today is an important day to go ahead and make the decision that this is the day that you leave your old self behind, you leave the old thoughts, the negativity, the bad self-talk in the past, and you start stepping into the next confident version of you, the next highest version of yourself. So family, with that being said, this is my training for today, but I hope you guys got a little bit of value, because I'm telling you, the hardest part is not going to be making the money. It's not going to be taking the action. The hardest part is actually believing in yourself that you can actually go out and become the version that you actually envision inside of your mind. So I love you guys. I hope you go out and have an abundant day. If I were to leave you with this, you are the masterpiece. You're not the master's piece, right? What do I mean by that? You are the masterpiece of your life. You are the superhero of your life. If you're going out and clocking into a job like I was, here's what I knew. That day that I was clocking day in and day out, I was building their dreams, and I was coming home to be too tired for mine. At that point in time, I was a master's piece. I was their peace of mind because I was their master. But when I started to realize that 5 to 9, that's when I could work on me. That's when I could truly become a masterpiece of my life. So my question for you today is, what are you going to do with the time that you don't think you have to step into that better version of you? Because I promise your future self is going to thank you for the favors that you did for him or her today. So family, I love you guys. It's your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. If nobody told you today, you are great, you are powerful, you are amazing. And I'm excited to see what it is that your future self looks like, because your present self is making the right decisions. I love you, family. Go out, have an abundant day. Tuesday, let's go ahead and make it a great week. Let's go.